and welcome to the Iris of Hope podcast. Today I have Katie Ferris, a founder of the Queer Travelers Collective on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. This is a community dedicated to helping queer people explore the world with confidence through educational content, online community spaces, LGBTQ plus group trips. Hayes hopes to make travel feel less intimidating, more accessible, and ultimately more transformative for queer people. As a trans masked person who grew up in the Bible Belt, Hayes knows how much their identities shape the way that you move through the world. A lot of their work explores the intersection of queerness, travel, community, and personal growth, and how stepping outside of our comfort zones can help us reconnect with the parts of ourselves that we didn't always have the freedom to explore. And if you've been dreaming about traveling with other LGBTQ plus people, Hayes would love for you to join the community on Discord, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, Instagram, etc. All information will be linked in the description below, and you can be a part of the adventure too. Please welcome Hayes Ferris. Hey, I can hear you. I can't see you.
Okay. Oh, now can you see and hear me?
Yes. How are you?
I'm doing really good. How are you?
Better now. So I really just wanted to give you an opportunity to kind of share whatever you're comfortable with your story, but I never know what people are meant to share. In what one way or another, we all seem to have some sort of soul connection. So I've just learned that if I hear, hey, that's the person, I'm like, okay.
Well, I appreciate you reaching out to me about this. I'm really excited to be here and do this. I've never been on a podcast before, and it's always been a dream of mine. So thank you.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love that so much. I love that this is the time that you're on one because I literally like have had this on my heart and soul to start another podcast, and being in like such a shift for so many years with like being able to embody my own sexuality and just my own like gay journey in general has just been so fucking intense for me that I love that now when I finally went ahead and just started this one because I've been doing podcasting for 2.5 years,
Mhm.
but I was like, and I love it because it's my spiritual side and that's literally like my whole soul essence is like what I do every day. But this is me honoring this part of me that is also very, very here and present and wants to also be honored just as equally. And it isn't even really about me though. It's more like it honoring me is like holding this space for everybody that I've seen for so long that has a need to share their story. But I just wanted to share this piece with you just so that you have this part before before you open up and shares. For me, um, it's there's so many people that it's really emotional for me,
Mhm.
like in my actual soul, because I've seen all these kids, all these teenagers throughout my life when I was younger, when I became a young adult. I also lived in San Diego when I was a teenager, and I literally lived there like during the time of I lived in the gay area of San Diego, Hillcrest,
Mhm.
which I was making a joke about that in the past couple of days, how like that was like one of my soul clues, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. I didn't put it together all the way. Um,
Right.
there's a lot of those. Um, but like I watched I literally like, and this part is just so you know, it is upsetting, but like, I literally fucking witnessed like people getting gay bashed and shit. Like visually saw it happen. And like people don't understand. Like, well, why do you gotta be so, in people's face about it? And why do you gotta be proud to be gay? Just be gay. And it's like the level of ignorance that people have, maybe it's not a lot of their fault, but the level of ignorance that people have and just not educated enough to even understand like it's literally and I am gonna say like it literally is a very similar thing to people being racist.
Yeah.
But because you people just hate something because it's different than them, and it's like it's so insane to me that people can't just be in existence and be different from someone else and not be hated by such ignorant, hateful, ugly people. And it's so, and I know a lot of us who are here to make these changes and, to help bring more light into the world. We all feel this, but it's just like, it's fucking mind blowing that like
Yeah.
this even is still existing.
Right. No, I totally agree. And I feel like you touched on something that is really important to like why I like created the queer travel platform that I run. And it's because like people always wonder like why like do you need to be so loud and proud about it? And it's for the exact reasons that you say. Like you've seen the gay bashing and you've seen like I grew up in the Bible Belt of the South.
Yeah.
And so,
God.
I've also seen like real violence against queer people. And like
Hmm.
I'm not being loud and proud for me. I'm being loud and proud for like the person next to me who might never get to come out otherwise. Like I remember I was on a flight recently out to Colorado to see a friend, and I was sat next to a 16-year-old boy who like wanted to chat the whole time. And I'm not usually like an airplane chatter, but I just felt like, he wanted to chat and I was like, let's chat. And I talked a little bit about my queer travel platform and like the things that we're doing. And he sent me a message on that same platform about 2 months later and let me know that like since our conversation, he had actually come out. And to me, like
I'm having
that's
literally
why I'm
head
doing
to toe
this.
chills right now.
Yeah, like, right. Like, I mean, that's why I want to do this. That's why I like to go out in public and like look queer and act queer. Like, I just want to create that representation and that visibility that like might change one person's life.
Because you give permission through you embodying what they deeply want to.
Yeah.
And if you are being that and they see it, they're like, I want to fucking do that too. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, but you give, we literally, we like give from like this.
Yeah.
Shaving half my fucking hair off. And
Right.
you, it's, this isn't because I wanted to look gay, by the way. This is literally my soul was like, you need to do this. This was literally though, my soul like was like, you need to do it. And I kept having the feeling that I needed to do it. So, but I shaved, my hair is short because I shaved all my hair off.
Uh-huh.
Um, like it was such a cathartic, shamanic, deeply spiritual cleanse and release. And I was just bald, like
Uh-huh.
straight bald for a while. And then I did it again, like during a court trial that was against my I don't even want to say my, but an ex
Yeah.
person being and and it was good. It was just like so freeing, and then I was so, it's such a trip to me because I was like, sorry if that froze, my battery's low. I was like, you know what? I I was like, I'm not shaving my hair anymore. Like I'm gonna let my hair grow out. It was such a pain in the ass to grow out the first time. And then it was louder and louder and louder. And my soul was like, shave it. And I was like, fuck it. I'm not shaving it all. I'll just shave this. And I shaved it all, like all the way around. And it feels so much more balanced. And I'm incredibly divine feminine energy because of my, I have a like a full goddess embodiment of energy. And so, and that's something I learned over, many, many years. But I also am God energy. I'm masculine and feminine, and I'm learning to embrace that fully. And it's funny because I like realize the more I've reflected so much in this past, I guess, year or so, I've really been like, I was always, I've always done the man things and the mom things and the wife things and the husband things and fixing all the stuff and fixing my own cars and like fuck that, I'll change my own tire, and I'm out there with my, you know, girl clothes on, but I'm inside the engine, like trying to change the fucking ignition coils and shit. And I've always had both, and I feel like I've always embraced both, but I didn't ever equate that to like gay or straight or whatever. It was just me being a deeper embodiment of myself. And I was married to my ex-husband. I don't know why I did it there, but saying that just because of the horrendous things that he was. But for 17 years, but he knew like for most of those years that I, wanted to be with a woman and I dealt with really deep depression on all that stuff. And it's like I said, it's been a really long journey for me, but um I feel like I have observed over the years watching the more that I've shared certain things on social media and interacted with certain friends that I've had and shown like that it's okay to embrace that, even if you're in a relationship with a man or whatever, but that it's just okay. It's okay
Yeah.
to be that. I've watched friends of mine. Actually, I've seen two, at least in the past 2 years, end up in a relationship with a woman just because they were, I can't, had, no, three. I've had intimate conversations with them and said, I really strongly feel like it would be healing for you to at least explore that for yourself. Not with me, but just in general.
Right.
And then all three of them ended up happier than they've ever fucking been,
Mm-hmm.
joyful even. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
just, to be able to watch the catalyst of different people over the course of my life. Like my ex that passed, his name was Louis. He was bi. I was the only female that he had been in like a really serious, like committed relationship with.
Mm-hmm.
And he ended up dressing as trends and going out with me to go have fun and go out and sing karaoke and go to the bar and play pool together because he said, I know you really need to have a girlfriend, so I want to
Oh,
get, and so it allowed him to express himself
yeah.
in that way to feel that, what that would feel like. And then also it was a healing thing for me too. It was such a beautiful experience. I still have those pictures, but it was one of the best nights ever.
Yeah. It's so interesting how, like, the people you meet in your life, like, how we impact each other's lives in ways that can seem like so small in the moment, but like you can look back on it over time and like realize like how fundamental that was in shaping you as a person. Like
Yes.
with different exes and different friends and different, acquaintances, like there have been so many people who have like just allowed me that space to like explore that whatever like piece of myself I may not have explored before. And I think I'm like really made up of all of those instances, right? Like the
Hmm.
times where you're getting to like like dip your toes in like this new interest or this new like way to dress or this new way to like have people refer to you and like being able to explore that and then be like, oh, like that's something that's really important to me. And then looking back and being like, oh, it's because of a 5 minute conversation I had with a stranger. It's because like I had a best friend who said like, your gender journey is yours and like don't let anyone else take away from that. Just like the little like things that they
Yes.
probably didn't think about in the moment. Like I'm sure like it probably meant a lot to be able to like dress and drag and go out with you like as a girlfriend. But like you probably were able to like really give him a space to like explore something he'd never explored.
He ended up, uh, I love all of what you just shared, by the way. I just wanted to make sure that I say that because it makes my heart very happy. Um, he ended up later on when we weren't together anymore, because we still stayed friends, close. Um, Going and finding this guy, and this guy was like big, like trans dude, like doing shows and going out to Sacramento, California, and like major events, and he had the best fucking time, and like just full on did drag shows and shit, and like he sent me pictures, and I remember he messaged me and he was like, I literally would have never did this if it wasn't for you, so I
Huh.
just really want to thank you. And he also messaged me like a couple of months or so, I don't know how many months before he passed, but it was a really deep heart and soul felt message, and he was like, I just want to thank you for giving me some of the best moments and memories of my life. And um, he said, I will always be grateful for you for that. And yeah, like just the soul connections that we have with people, if we lean into them, if
Hmm.
we if we choose to transcend like the fears and the self doubt and the well, what would anybody else think or whatever, which is really hard to do. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not easy to fucking do that. But if we
No.
can work on it, if we can get there enough to like just be brave enough to try and kind
Right.
of see how it feels, most of the time we will realize that it's really, really fucking great on the other side of it. It's actually pretty awesome.
And that's the hardest part is just getting the momentum and like starting to move. Once you've started moving, you can really like go really far.
Yeah, your soul leads you there for a reason.
Hmm.
And, but I will say, like, I'm also living proof that it's not always an easy journey, especially if you start out being in a committed relationship to somebody who, isn't the gender that your soul is like feeling called to be with. And like for me, it was like lots of guilt, belief systems,
Hmm.
solidarity in being loyal. When you make a commitment to somebody, you gotta, you see it through, and marriage vows, even like all, there's so many different aspects to this stuff. And I do see like a lot of people tend to I feel like guilt is like the number one thing. And I was just talking to, actually, she was my very first guest on the podcast, on this podcast, the other day, and so awesome, such an awesome person. Oh my God. Um, and I love that like I'm meeting people who are actually leading in this space, because here you are and you're like putting together this whole initiative. And I'm just like, I'm blown away by the level of those of us who are here to like hold space for many. They're
Hmm.
actually stepping in and making it happen, but like it's almost like in the dark. Like you're getting the guidance, you're creating the platform, you're creating the space, you're calling people in, and all of a sudden now we're all like coming into each other's orbit,
Hmm. Hmm.
where I just got chills again, but where we're like, oh hey, you're out here doing it too. Okay, that's cool.
No, I totally agree. And I think that like doing these things like a podcast or like building this platform, like it's putting me in the spaces that I'm supposed to be in. Like as I've built this platform over the last several months and like looked back over it, I have this sense of like everything that I've done in my life has like led up to this. I couldn't
Hmm.
figure it out at the time. Like when I first started traveling and I like had that I got bit by the travel bug and like knew that that was something that was really important to me. Like I was actually watching an Anthony Bourdain episode recently where I was thinking like what a noble thing to dedicate your life to, like travel and like meeting people. But like I knew that I wanted to dedicate my life to that, but also have it be deeper and more relevant to me and the things that I care about. And so bridging those two things, like bridging my queerness and my love for travel was like the most natural step forward. Being able to like not only travel myself and like learn about the world and be queer in every continent, like I can now like give that same gift to other people and help them see that like travel is not just a way to like explore and see new things, but it's also a way to connect with your inner child. Like I wrote a
Yeah.
Substack article recently about like how navigating travel and like being curious and exploring and like looking at the world with wonder like is really a way to tap into the
Hmm.
inner child who like maybe didn't get to be themselves because maybe they were queer and couldn't be queer. Like I grew up in the South and there was not a good way for me to be out and queer as a young person and
I'm
so I
so
never got
sorry.
to. Yeah, that's okay. I it's not okay, but I've, done a lot of healing and work and I'm grateful for all of my experiences because it led me here. Like I don't think that I would be as passionate about opening up these doors for other queer people had I not had the experiences that I had.
It's all a catalyst for sure.
Yeah.
I just I just also know like that it's very hard to cuz like to feel your soul wanting to like come through and shine through and be who you are and feeling so repressed in my own way because like I had a lot of things that repressed me as well, and that's like some of the stuff that I've definitely been unpacking more in this like in this past year because I've done this like for years, off and on, but I was always so enveloped in like everything else going on in my life that it's really just been like this past year straight that I've been like deeper in unrooting like, oh, okay, that makes sense of why I was like so like feeling stuck or like subconsciously afraid to like fully embody that. I've been pretty open about, my sexuality, like with my ex and with my mother, with family members, friends, and things like that over the years. But I definitely like tried to make it go to sleep
Hmm.
for a really, really long time. And it kept coming out, and then I would like, oh, and then I had like really shitty experiences, and then it would kind of like try to shut it down and just focus on my kids, focus on my work and whatever I could. But little by little, my soul just got louder and louder and louder. And my soul's pretty fucking loud. But I have such a quiet voice. My soul is very like loud in a like quietly resounding, like I'm going, like you're not gonna ignore me because it's the energy. And
Right.
so, so eventually that just turned to like depression for like a really long time. And I kept saying like, oh my God, like I really need to be with whoever, my female person is or partners are or whatever. Because I was like, maybe I don't want to limit myself. Like maybe I'm supposed to meet different women, whatever, whatever the case may be. But I was always open, but also jaded and very like closed off due to hurt. So I was like, I want her, but I need her to be safe.
Right.
And yeah, that just put me in a really like long, long, long journey of bless you. I'll edit these parts, maybe, or maybe I won't. I don't of just like I'm at this point now where I'm finally like reclaiming so much. and it feels really, really good, but also it's a lot because of my circumstances. But to my soul and my heart and my body and my mind, it feels good. And it feels like, you know what? How am I supposed to lead in this space the way I'm literally meant to?
Right.
And I can't say that I'm openly living in my truth fully and like embodying this all the way. Like that's not going to work. So, and that's where I was just like, all right. And I turned 40 recently, and that was a massive awakening and also deepening of holy shit. Like, yeah, we're gonna be here for like only so long. Like, get your life together.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, but that's to say it the absolute most abbreviated way possible. But yeah, talking to people, especially one specific person, like she's really helped me so much to recognize how much I have always been so sad and depressed because I just am not supposed to be with just a man or, one in this situation.
Right.
And I knew that, but I don't know. And she really embodies so much of like everything that I am, but like in her own way. And she's like reflecting it back to me. And I'm like, oh, this exists in other people. That's crazy. I didn't even know that was a thing. And, and just the joy that I have felt just having soul to soul interactions and conversations and an energy exchange where it's just like, I did not realize that feeling this happy is even something that I could feel.
Right. Right.
And it's so awesome because it's not even like a relationship. It's literally just a soul to soul love connection that is like, we're not even in the same space physically, but we're able to talk. And that shows me that something so much more beautiful exists when we can fully embrace and embody ourselves the way that we're supposed to. And that is why it's so utterly fucking devastating when I see people still going through this judgment and damnation and being condemned and judged. And I mean, I already said judgment. Like all this shit that people feel just to be themselves when being themselves can bring so much happy and fucking fluidity and joyfulness to their life. And it's like,
Yeah.
but that's why I started this.
Yeah. I really think one of the best parts of queerness is the way you realize that there's no rules, that like all of life is like these silly made up rules that everybody has like agreed upon, whether they're spoken or unspoken.
Yeah.
And like deciding that you're gonna like embrace your queerness, whether that be through like, gender or sexuality, is the first step in like deciding that like all of those rules are arbitrary. And I think that's been the most fun part of my adult life, is that like I don't have to follow any kind of predetermined path. I don't have to go through these like rigorous, like strict social roles that people
Right.
assign to each other. Like I think that being queer allows you to like step outside of those things. And that's kind of like what you were touching on. Like you have the ability to just do what you want and embrace yourself. And I think that like so many closeted queer people, especially in the United States right now, as we've like watched this like bizarre conservative shift in our society, like they have so much internalized shame surrounding like being themselves, because like all a conservative society wants is for everybody to like look and act exactly the same. And like if I've learned anything in life, it's like that's not very fun. Like that we like I don't know, in like
Right.
elementary school, they taught you like we should celebrate each other's differences. It's what makes life interesting. And like
Right.
everybody being weird and queer and different and rejecting like society's norms is like the most fun part of being a queer adult.
Hmm. Well, and we break all that shit and dismantle it and throw it in a fucking bonfire because who has time? First of all, no one's watching boring ass motherfuckers on social media. Everybody's
Exactly.
watching the cool shit, the blue hair, the fucking
Uh-huh.
goth punk, fucking crazy piercings and the tattooed everybody and the fucking people that are doing weird, crazy, random shit on videos. No one wants to see all that boring shit. I don't know why people want to act. It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's such a weird it's like they have a split in their mind of like what society wants me to be socially accepted, and their fucking actual self, which is a weird, probably crazy, wild, sexual,
Hmm.
and they can't feel free to be that. Their jobs, even you can't have colored hair or piercings or tat. Why?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Why?
Because be- because it's 1902. Like
Right.
everybody has fucking tattoos. Like what
It's
do you
2026. Like, come on.
like? What do you mean?
Yeah.
It's outdated. I have to unplug this, so I'm gonna see if it switches over to my earbud because my phone's on 3%, so we can have that. So, um, did it switch over to my earbud?
I can't tell a difference.
Really?
Yeah, I
Cool.
mean, I can still hear you, so
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that works. Nice. Yeah, but it's just so weird, and it's like, but that's where, like, when we look at this is just the way like I also look at things, but I know a lot of us do. I just look at things multifaceted and multidimensional as well. And I'm looking at like all of society as a whole and a structure. And I've
Mhm.
always seen like the levels of things and like where did they come from and like the root cause and when did it start and how would we have to like break all that down and like first of all dismantle it and then restructure and reframe it. One thing that humans have yet to understand fully, or maybe they do but they don't have the capacity mentally, is it takes us making a conscious change
Mhm.
together collectively.
Mhm.
It takes, I'm just checking my brightness on here. It's kind of okay. It takes all of us to be able to say, we don't like this. We need it to be different. This
Right.
is how. And then sitting down and making collective decisions for society as a whole. But
Mhm.
I mean, how's that going to happen if everybody's caught up in 9 to 5 jobs and
Oh,
working to survive, paying 3 times the amount of rent that I mean, having to make 3 times the amount of rent and then having rent be crazy, deposits are insane, groceries are expensive, gas is astronomical. It's all,
right.
I mean, it's all done on purpose, but
Yeah. I think that they too like they've done such a good job at individualizing us to the point of a fault that like the idea of society coming together and like making a collective decision, it shouldn't, but it almost feels absurd because we all live in our own apartments with our own phones and we go to our own jobs and like people used to live generationally. You would live in a home with your parents and your grandparents and your children, and everybody chipped in and everybody took care of everybody. And now
yeah,
you people don't even want to have a roommate because why would you want to live with someone else when you could live by yourself? And there's no sense of community anymore. Like why? Like I also think that that's a beautiful part of queerness is like that built-in community. And I'm sure like people that are a part of other like minority groups probably feel the same way. Like there's there's a distinct lack of community in modern society, and like that's what the people yearn for. Like if I've been taught anything throughout this process of building this platform, it's that the people yearn for community. They want a space
Yeah.
where they can connect with each other and share resources and build things that wouldn't exist without that community. And that I don't think anybody knows where to start. Like, I have these conversations with my friends and people in my life, and they're like, but what does that even look like? And I think
Yeah.
it's putting in real effort and like not just having the conversation, but like hosting the event, or like picking your friend up from the airport, or like taking someone a meal when they've just had a baby, or like it's the
Yeah.
little steps that really build that momentum in the right direction of having that community.
So what would you say is your bigger vision for what you're building right now? And do you see it like branching off to kind of doing exactly that?
Yeah, I really think that like my overall vision for this community and this platform that I'm building is for it to be like a collective community space, like a space where people can ask any question that they have, or like share their itineraries, or share their tips, or share their, story just of like what made them decide to start traveling. Or like I think that when you view a lot of other travel resources, like a lot of the advice is very generalized. And like when you're queer or don't fit the typical traveler mold, which like in my head is like a wealthy straight white guy. And if you don't fit that, maybe this advice doesn't apply to you. And I really just want to like create a resource where people can access all of that information that's relevant to them for free. Like, I don't want it to be stuck behind a paywall. Traveling is already expensive. Like, I really just want it to be a community space. Like, and I even, in our Facebook group today, I was posting like, I want it to be a place where you can, ask your travel questions, but you can also like share your dog that you're missing at home. Like, it can just be a place where like you can chat with people. Say you've like missed the train that you needed to take and you're having a meltdown in the train station, and you just like need someone to talk about it with. Like, you could post in the group or in the Discord server and get immediate feedback or immediate help. And I want, we're hosting group trips and doing other things to like bring the community together offline as well. But like, aside from the group trips or people having to like spend any money, I just want it to be a space where like you can exist as a queer person and as a queer traveler. Like, that's an even smaller like niche of people. Like, so few
Yeah.
people leave their hometown or their home state, and way fewer queer people do. And I just want it to be something that, a place that they can turn, whether they're planning their first trip, their first time out of the United States or out of their home country, or it's their, 75th trip and they just have a question about a visa, or like how to get somewhere. Like, I want it to just be a space for everyone, really.
Yeah. I can see also how like in other countries, I know there's like Line and I think another app where you can like share. I gotta have it. I have it on my notes, I think, but where you can share like people who do hostels and also the locals in the area saying like, hey, I'm going to this area or I'm in this area. Does anybody want to have lunch or whatever? But that is something that would be so awesome for you to have for your people, like your community, that you could just say like, you like join this platform, and then anybody that's thinking like of going here or anybody that wants to go here, this is where I'm going to go, and we can kind of meet up in the same place or whatever, or share hostels or share costs. I mean, I'm gonna find those and send it to you because I feel like that would be really, really important for you. But yeah, I I can see how this is gonna grow if you keep going with it, but definitely I would say have some kind of protection mechanisms just
Mm.
to make sure that's something that's come to me for you. Unfortunately, there's just weird people out there. So, maybe in time, like as it grows and you have the funds to be able to do it, maybe you could have somebody that just specifically screens like
Yeah,
accounts.
right.
Go to their page, make sure they're an actual person. The account's not brand new. It's not a
Mm.
catfish account, something like that, but just in time
Yeah,
to protect your people.
yeah,
Because that's, stupid that we even have to think about shit like that, but,
right.
just for protection. That was something I wanted to mention as well. But I really, on a positive note, I really love that you're doing this, and I think that it's really incredibly amazing. I mean, I've had people be mean to me like when I was looking for female streamers to because I decided to start streaming gaming.
Hmm.
Um and I was like specifically looking for women who were gay, bi, whatever. And I was just straight, I was like, I didn't think there was going to be a big deal. I was just like, this is what I'm looking for because I just wanted to be able to vibe and like have that understanding and not have it feel weird or awkward. Like a lot of women that aren't gay, um, I don't know. I think they automatically assume if you are that you're just gonna be like into them, and I'm like I do have like a very specific preference.
Right, right.
Oh,
It's like, yeah, yeah,
and I don't mean like aesthetically. I mean like the soul has to be the
uh-huh.
right person for me. Like I don't really care like necessarily what they look like, but if my soul connects with their soul, we're
Yeah,
great. Like I just because we have a friendship doesn't mean I like want you in that way. Um,
exactly.
but it got weird like, when I tried to make friends with girls that weren't. So I was like, fuck it, let me just see. And so I know firsthand that it can get like because I had guys who why do they have to be gay? It sounds like you're just trying to have an orgy. And I'm like, first of all, that's so ignorant. Second of all, even if I fucking was, it wouldn't be any of your goddamn business.
Right.
But no, like they're just like, bitch, like, can I have anything? Can women literally have anything?
Yeah. It's also like I don't what is so atypical about like wanting to be surrounded by like-minded people. I find it the idea that like wanting to be around other queer people is inherently sexual feels odd to me because like straight people hanging out with each other isn't inherently sexual.
Right,
So,
right. Unless it is, and they're just
but
having a
yeah.
guilty conscience. I feel like most of us are actually more I don't know. I don't want to speak out of turn, but like I feel like a lot of the ones okay, the neurodivergent gay people, queer, gay, bi. Um, we're more like we can flirt and it's fun, and then we go right into like being a nerd or like
Right.
super fucking innocent
Yeah.
or like send you like the most ridiculous fucking video or meme ever and it has nothing to do with what you were just talking about.
Right.
And it's not even sexual anymore. It's
Right.
literally just like that was a moment and now we're past that moment. And I never really wanted to act on that. I was just having fun, fuck
Right.
that. Like I feel like that's how a lot of us are. And I'm like, I feel like straight people are the ones that are like, oh, like you said, I'm sexual. I need to do something about that. But I feel like a lot of us we're just like, it's really not that deep. Like it doesn't need to be that serious. I mean, it is when it's your person, but not
Right.
like with your people. You're just
Right.
like we can flirt, and it really is not that fucking serious.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
and I feel, and that's the kind of shit I'm talking about. where when you're around your people that actually can vibe with you and you get it and you get each other, you are able to like just fucking have fun and it's a lighter hearted experience and you can just hang out. And that is why also what you're doing is so important because I just feel like it's so healing. It's so healing.
It is. It is. I one of the things that kind of sparked creating this community was that I went on a all queer group trip to Thailand a couple of years ago, and I've never felt more alive and more free than those 3 weeks traveling around with queer people because there was never, I mean, I was never worried about like, was I cool enough? Was I queer enough? Did people like me? Were people looking at me when I was out in places like where there was, 20 some of us all going everywhere together and we all just got to exist for those 3 weeks. And like being a human is really messy and really hard. And I don't know that I've ever just gotten to exist before that time. Like there's always
I
some
love that.
aspect of like performing or like putting on a show or masking or like putting on some kind of facade. And when you're surrounded by queer people, like you just don't have to do that. There's so much less pressure to conform to society's standards because like even if your brand of different is different than mine, like I already reject the norm, so I don't care that you're different from me. I
Yeah.
just am glad that you're different from everybody else.
I love that so much. Where did you go in town?
We went, oh gosh, we went all over. We started in Bangkok, and then we went to Chiang Mai, went to an elephant sanctuary there, and then we did a like 5 hour trek through the jungle to stay in a village with refugees from Myanmar. And it
Mm.
was like a village of like 500 people or less. It was really an incredible experience. And we did that. We went and stayed the night with them. They cooked us a beautiful dinner and a beautiful breakfast. And then we bamboo rafted back to the city, which was really cool. And then we flew down to the coast. We went to Krabi. We went to Koh Samui. And I want to say we went one other place, but it was a great trip. I mean, I felt like I turned my brain off the whole time and like they like just kind of shepherded us around like we were little sheep, but I loved it. Like we just it was like be on the bus at 3:15 and that was the only thing I had to think about the whole time. It was great.
I love that. I'm really, really happy that I reached out to you because, like I said, I had no idea what we were going to talk about. I just knew that it was supposed to happen. And um, I mean, you're the second person that's on this new podcast, which is fucking awesome. And I'm so excited about. So that's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I would love to, like, maybe we can do like I share. I'm gonna like give you clips and stuff to share, but maybe I want to share your stuff that you're doing,
Yeah.
like the group and just because I do have not I don't have like a huge following because this is a new account, so I'm got like I think 1,800 or something. But I'm working on it. We're getting there. But I want to share your group and like the stuff you're doing and to my people because I am part of a network on TikTok, and then I want to share the podcast or have you share the podcast if you don't mind on your page, and then that way we can kind of like, you know, have a support for each
Yeah.
other because I think I joined your Discord, didn't I?
Honestly, probably there's so many people in there now. Let me see. What is your Discord name?
I think it's my new one, Jessica Hope Network. I think it
Yes,
would be.
yeah, you're in there for sure.
Cool. Okay. I haven't even had a chance to check. But I've been working so much. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I'll definitely be checking it out. So I want to participate though,
Yeah.
because this coming up for me is huge, and it would be super awesome to be like able to connect in with you and with others in there who might be passing through that area or live in that area. And then also when I'm actually there, I can be a hub
Yeah.
of like, don't go there, go here, or hey, do you want to like, you guys are here by yourself, oh, I can meet you here, just
Yeah.
give a sense of community,
Yeah.
um, but in a safe way where I know who I'm actually meeting and not just on these random apps.
Yeah.
Stranger danger.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy that I got to meet you.
Me too. This has been really, really great to chat with you and meet you. And I really didn't know a whole lot about your podcast before the last couple of days. And as I've like kind of scrolled through your stuff and chatted with you, I'm really excited to give it a listen and to hear, more episodes than just this one.
Thank you. I love that so much. And I definitely am going to be tapping in with your group. And um if you have any questions or you want to talk, please like feel free to reach out to me anytime.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Do you have anything you want to share really quick before you go?
I don't think so, other than just to kind of plug the whole community and encourage people to come join us, come hang out in our Facebook group or our Discord server and see what we're about. Or if you're like, interested in traveling and just don't really know where to start, think about joining one of our group trips. We would love to have you or anybody who's listening.
That would be awesome. What is the name? And then I'm gonna also have it linked.
Yeah, the name of the entire platform is Queer Travelers Collective, and
Okay.
we've got the same like username across platforms, so you should be able to find us that way.
Okay, so Facebook, Discord, and then what about your TikTok?
Yeah, it's the same. It's just at Queer Travelers Collective on TikTok, on Instagram, and Threads and YouTube as well.
Okay, cool. All right. Did you send me that?
I
I think
think so.
I think
Yeah,
you sent it on TikTok. Okay, cool. All right. Well, thank you so, so much. It was such a beautiful honor to meet you. I'm so grateful for everything that you're doing. And I get it. Like, trust me, like I said, I get it. And I love that you made this happen because regardless of what anybody else might think, like I said, I dealt with weird opinions that don't
yeah,
matter. It's about having your people, your vibe, your tribe, your group, your soul family. And I love that you actually took that inspiration that you got and made it into an actual thing. And I'm excited for your future trips and shit, I hope I get to see you
yeah.
when I go. So, oh yeah.
Me too. Me too. Well, thank you so, so much for your time and for giving me space to kind of share my story and for creating a space that's just so welcoming and warm. And you've been really lovely to chat with.
Thank you. You have been too. And thank you also just for being open and coming on. I hope you have a really awesome, beautiful rest of your day. And please keep me informed on, I want to see pictures. I want to see things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I will.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
All righty. Thanks. Bye bye.